What's up, people of the world? Alexander here, self proclaimed prophet. Another day thinking about my life, thinking about what I want to accomplish, my goals, my responsibilities, the people that I care about. I mean, you could be a stranger somewhere out there in this big ocean of a world, and I care about you. And I know I've been inspired this year by seeing unconditional love from others that feel the same. They want to say hi to a stranger and tell them, I care about your happiness. And that really keeps me going. I used to feel so alone in my unconditional love for the world. But whatever this media phenomenon and craze is doing, whatever it is, all this Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud and TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram, all this interactive places where people can say what they feel. It's so inspiring. My girlfriend asked me not to talk about her in my videos, and I just have to tell her simply, that's too bad. Because I make my videos to have a place to go to when I can't find anywhere else to express myself. I know that I need to love myself, and I know that I need to love myself enough to say, that's not up to you, Dina. That's not up to her. No, I'm not going to say her last name or talk about her community or her family. It's not like that. But if she comes up, then I'll talk about her gently and move forward with whatever monologue I'm doing. So that's not really up to her. I just have to be strong in my boundaries, and no, it doesn't work like that. So one of the reasons I broke up with her is that she doesn't believe I'm a prophet. Now, her and I have been together since 2014 on and off. It's 2025, so that was 11 years ago we met, and we felt pretty heavy for each other. But she doesn't believe me when I tell her I remember in a past incarnation I was Jesus. She said, you're like so many other people. They're crazy. Everybody thinks they're the Messiah. And I told her the difference between them and myself is I'm telling the truth. So, while I'm in my current situation, I'm making a plan. I have a lot of options, but my plan is guideline. Sing for people, adhere to my Judaism, say prayer, write music, continue making art. Finding the muse is very important. That's what I've found in my prioritizing. Next is find an audience. And aside from being an artist, a musician, as art, my form of art, aside from an audience, a congregation, a community, a network where I can serve God and I can be a man of God and feel supported by my community. And like every good functioning community, I have something they need, they have something that I need. I'm strong where they're weak, they're strong where I'm weak. So this interdependency is something that I'm seeking out now. Understanding I need a support system and giving that to myself for my own health, emotionally and mentally. And also finding that I need a community to move forward in my life. So for my health and for my selfish motives, which are to survive. I need to make a living. I need to make money. I need to stand in my role, in my spot as a prophet. That being, I'm somebody that can be with you if you need a listening ear. I'm the person that could try to touch on some wisdom if you need advice about something. I could be a fellow artist, and we could do something collaboratively, or we can find a way to volunteer and give back to the world and do service. I'm very interested in starting volunteering. I've never really done that. Even though I have a very unselfish heart and a kind intention, I've never formally volunteered. Excuse me. I'm struggling, and the only thing I can do is keep putting one foot in front of the other, be persistent, don't give up. Struggling with depression. I'm struggling with smoking too much, tobacco, I'm struggling in this version of myself that I've grown comfortable with and that I've gotten to know. But I find strength in these words that this is just one version of me, and it may be the most disempowered version of myself that I'll ever see. When I get stronger, when I get better, I'll bid farewell to it and won't ever come back to it. I'll know a stronger version of myself. Excuse me. Excuse me. Burping, coughing. Excuse me. So, I just want to keep on flowing and find that happy place where I can move forward. My voice is cracking. I don't even have the energy to speak these kinds of truths. Really heavy vibrations, low vibrations, trying to find expression where I'm currently on a level of small talk, dialogue, and banter with my community here at this house. Not talking about nearly as heavy or deep things as I am talking about in this video right now. So, I'm opening, and there's a physiological effect from bringing up such heavy matters. My throat is closing, and the smoking makes it a little bit more difficult to continue breathing into my lower places, my diaphragm, my kidneys, my back, my pelvic floor. Breathing, grounding the energy. So when I say when I'm better, I use that expression. When I'm stronger and when I'm better. What I really mean is my body is weak. Some of my muscles cramp up sometimes. My strongest muscles, my bicep, my shoulders, and my back have atrophied a little bit. A sedentary lifestyle. Regardless, I think I need this rest. I've been in this house for December, January, February, March, April, May, June. I've been here 7 months since I got out of jail. I'm here in this transitional house. This is a good place to be. And when I'm better, improving my depression and improving upon it. That as I go to find a more consistent expression of all this truth that I'm talking about in this video, all the topics I'm talking about, and begin to live from that place within me on a daily basis, that's when I'll be getting better. This is the process of me becoming familiar with who I am on the inside and identifying with that all the time. Not being split into two personalities, not living a life running from myself and my fears and my responsibilities, not embodying that which I just expressed and which I think is an expression that I'm too caught up right now. It's schizophrenia. So living with inconsistency, living a dualistic life that conflicts with itself and isn't consistent. It's inconsistent. It contradicts itself. Not just conflicts, it contradicts. I have to move away from that into the better version of myself. So I'll just draw a picture. The past 7 months, I've been smoking like a racehorse. Every day I'll smoke a couple hour session of tobacco, sometimes more than that, 5-6 hours. I just get some cheap pipe tobacco. I got a big old bag. Smoke however much I want of tobacco. I can afford it. But I'm not familiar with these words yet. I was going to say beyond just indulging in excessive smoking, I spend all my time alone. Sometimes I say a silent prayer, and there's been a couple times when I paced for an hour or two in the past couple months and just thought out loud and kind of organized my thoughts. But nothing as direct as a message that I'm making for the viewer in this video, which is, I am a prophet. I'm the second coming, as it's called, of Yeshua, and I know I need to step out into the world and begin participating with that leading me, with that message guiding me, both in front of me that I'm following and behind me, supporting me, and just nudging me when I feel complacent or stagnant, because it's a fearful journey. And if you've seen a couple of my previous videos, I've talked about migrating to Israel, and I know that everything I'm saying concerning who I am, what my identity is, it's a very dangerous thing to take with me over there, and to be so dedicated to being one person and to feeling whole, not divided, not contradicting myself in order to live two personalities out. It's very dangerous. I will be in Israel and I'll be telling people if it comes up, if I feel compelled, if it's relevant, I'm a prophet. And they'll look at me like, they might snap. They might snap at me. They might, go to take a bite into me. That's what my girlfriend would say. Bite into people. So I already feel like it might be a bad omen with it starting off with her not believing me. I don't know how many other people are going to disbelieve me, but I know that I am a devout man, a religious man. I'm a Jew. I believe in one God. I worship him. I worship her. I call him Mother, Father, God sometimes, but I also call her Mother, Father, God. But Father God, I understand what people mean when they refer to God being a masculine entity. And my only point in all that I'm saying right now is that I'm a devout man. I don't know if I'll find other devout people that accept me into their heart and into their psyche as a soul that they can trust, claiming to be such an influential entity, and knowing that that has repercussions and will influence Christians and Jews in the world and how they live their lives. When Alexander shows up to the party, when I show up, I might be the one that dampens everyone's day. I might be the one that brightens everyone's day. I might be a good force or a negative force. And I know my intention is good. I know my intention is good, but I'm nervous because I haven't established any ground beneath me yet with this new identity that I'm learning to encourage within myself. It's no longer a secret that I was keeping from the world. It's no longer something behind my eyes that are pretending to be present, my eyes pretending to be present, and inside, that's where it's at, being hidden, something beneath my eyes, hiding in my thoughts, in my mind. It's not being hidden anymore. It's kind of lost. I lost my flow expressing the metaphor of hiding behind the eyes. I don't want to have anything to hide anymore. And I've been stripped bare by the mental institutions here in California. You know, they took everything from me. And underneath the ill layers of my mind, my heart, my spirit, there was a deeper truth. And this truth might be what saves me, which is I felt so violated by the mental institutions, being touched when I didn't want to be touched, being force medicated, being transported in ambulances, having spit guards tied over my head. It might be the only thing that belongs to me that they couldn't take. I feel so violated. If I haven't mentioned in former videos, I've been hospitalized what feels like 20, 30 times. Couple stays I did 3 months, 4 months, maybe 6 months. Another hospital I was in for 6 months just a year and a half ago. It was at a state hospital, Napa State Hospital in Napa Valley. So it's so degrading and humiliating and inhumane. And I keep saying violating, but I know violation is in the same category as molestation. I know it's in the same category as rape. And I know that it wasn't either of those two things. Those two things are exponentially worse than being violated. But being touched, or held down, or grappled, or forced to strip down, or forced to take a shower and bathe, it's a horrifying experience. But I didn't lose who I am, even though I tried to drink it away. When I would remember in my early 20s, I came back from Israel, I failed. That's some of the backstory. I went to Israel in 2014, and I thought I had a big purpose, and it all led up to that year. And I was supposed to come out there. But I didn't end up coming out as a prophet anywhere. I didn't have a plan. But it's what I wanted most. I wanted to feel free from the burden of hiding and being somebody that I'm not. So, a couple years after 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, I was drinking a lot of alcohol. And my family said I need to get some help with my mental health and my sobriety being a factor to work on. So I got sober, and I've been sober now for 2.5 years, and there were a couple years in between. I was sober like 2 years, I was sober 1 year, I was sober 3 years, a couple months, went back and forth, but I would always build more time again and get back to staying sober even if I relapsed. So what stayed with me after it was almost dead, at some point I was drinking so much beer, I didn't remember what it felt like to be spiritual. Not only did I not remember, I rejected it. I said egotistically and ignorantly, those people are weak. Those people, those gentle people are bitches. I said it derogatorily. I spoke derogatorily toward them. You guys are faggots, you know. You guys are not men. You hippies don't know. You just don't know what's up. You don't know what's going on. So I got a taste of some street life for a couple years, and after I dropped out, that's what the gang culture calls leaving behind the street life. After I realized growing up I was a hippie. How did a hippie go to being a street character? Drinking on the corner, hitting the grass, talking to the homies. Like, what is it? Scrapping? Looking for fights? Not backing down to authority or other men? After I tasted something that I think I earned on my own, I had to understand what it's like to be a man, carrying himself in the world, without his mom next to him, and with no father in my life to refer to. Whatever he told me, whatever he shared with me, he just wasn't there. So, I was carrying a lot on my shoulders, but I was trying to drown out my spirituality. And like I said, even worse, I was degrading toward other people, other grown men that were spiritual. So, after the mental hospitals, I'm now free. I'm sober. I'm embracing being gentle. I lost touch of it. I lost my sensitivity. I went from being so sensitive to being callous. I went from being so sensitive, and before being callous, now I'd say I'm a little callous, a little rough around the edges. I got the balance between gentleness and feeling like a man in the world. Before losing my sensitivity and becoming callous, losing my sensitivity and being numb, drinking and smoking grass and tobacco and beer every day for a long while. I had something else I wanted to say. I'm just going to wait for it to come. Just a moment. I'm not sure it'll come. It survived is really what I want to say. Being a prophet survived. Oh, and I was going to say, I got back from Israel, and that's the reason it died. Then my life was empty in a new way I'd ever experienced. What's supposed to happen now? I'm no longer the center of my life. I gave it away. So, that was the beginning of forgetting. And my life changed in so many ways after I got back from Israel. I didn't know who I was, though. Before, I knew I was a prophet. I felt like an angelic force. I believed in the angels. I believed in helping people that need help. I believed in listening to somebody that needs to be heard. I knew that I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless, but after I got back, it was gone. And saying what I'm saying right now makes me feel like I could handle going to Israel, despite being led by realism and politics and fear. Realism, politics, and fear that I could be in danger by going to Israel. But really, from this perspective, me saying I failed the first time I came back, to go back to Israel would be a beautiful thing. To feel the holiness there. That desert is very holy. That desert land is very holy. I don't even know more than one desert in Israel, the Negev, but I know it's holy. And it's not because I've been brainwashed by Israel. It's not because I've been brainwashed by Jews. It's not because I've been brainwashed by Taglit. When I went there, like me and my girlfriend contemplated, that all governments brainwash people. America brainwashes people. The Israeli government brainwashes people. I just don't believe it anymore. People choose what they want to believe. And some people are strong and some people are less strong. Instead of saying weak, I'm just saying they're less strong. I know that it took me time to become stronger. I was strong before, but now I'm stronger. And I hope to be even stronger. If you build yourself up, you can rise out of ignorance. You can let go of immature ideals, immature ways of thinking. When I went to Israel in 2014, I was putting so much pressure on myself to be the level-headed person, the person that saw things the way they are, that was logical, that was skeptical, that was clear-seeing, and that sought truth and self-understanding and understanding of energy and the world around me. I was potentially psychotic because I identified so strongly with my past incarnation of Jesus. I identified so strongly with him that I didn't have an identity in this lifetime. I didn't know that I was more than Alexander or Aleko or Nick or Tizio or Bro or Brother Lion or Ariel or Alexander King. I didn't know more than those pseudonyms, those artist names that I used on stage when I made music and when I wrote. I didn't know more than that, and I was working on my identity. I was trying to build up who I am. I thought that I was my YouTube video or my Facebook share or my Instagram share or my blog article that I wrote or the song that I wrote. But in this lifetime now, two things. One is I stopped writing music and playing music and writing for several years up until just this year. I've gone back to being creative and allowing myself to express that muse in different mediums. Second thing is, because of that embodiment of Jesus, that identification with such a strong persona, that people know who he was and how he must have been, I thought that I was condemned to be crucified in this lifetime. I didn't understand that it's a welcome home party. Now that thought made me cry a couple years ago. We don't want to kill you, man. We've been waiting for you. You helped the world. You saved the world. And you were condemned. That made me cry. It's a welcome home party. What made me understand that was the comprehension of how many Christian churches there are. I thought to myself, there's millions of churches in the United States, maybe thousands, maybe 500,000, maybe 20,000, maybe 100,000, maybe 10,000. I don't know. Millions. That's the number that came to my mind. However many churches there are so many God-loving people that were influenced by what I did. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that me taking personal accounting of a past lifetime action isn't comprehensible. Not to me. I know the way I used to be, me, in this lifetime, Alexander. When I was 17, I was hard-headed. I liked to debate with people. I liked to end it with a hug. I liked to tell people I love you. I liked to tell people that Jesus was a good person and he's misunderstood. And he cared about all people. And he was a fighter for the good fight. He believed in freedom. He didn't care about authority. He acted as his own authority. And he was still humbled by God above him, who had more authority than he did. But he lived in oneness with that God. And God expressed himself. God expressed God's self through Jesus' actions, and he let it happen. I would say something along those lines in many debates with people that wanted to argue semantics. I wasn't maybe the core arguer or debater, but all the details and the fine points of different philosophy, topics, arguments, beliefs, opinions, statutes in religion, I would argue for with those in mind. So, let's see. when I came back to the US in 2014, after I spent 4 months in Israel, I just turned 21 in August. It took me until maybe 2023 to understand that I wasn't going to be crucified, that I was suffering a deep soul injury. It was somewhere in my aura. I had a wound still open, something vulnerable about myself walking around in the world, some part of myself that hadn't healed and was still vulnerable to being infected. And whatever energetic hindrance that existed, whatever was stopping me from crying and accepting where I'm at and accepting that I have a future in this life and I will hopefully grow to be an old, wise man and happy and satisfied and expressed and rewarded by his effort, rewarded with gratitude and joy, being given whatever I need materially and the beauties of immaterial world, immaterial life, that which is immaterial. So I came back 2014, took me till 2023, and I understood with all these churches everywhere, it's going to be a welcome home party. So just to express one last time, go over it for myself, there's a lot of things to think about. There's a lot of opportunities that are going to come. There's a lot of potential for this man right here and the rest of the world that wants to collaborate on something beautiful, welcoming me, teach me, show me, instruct me, guide me, teach me, and I'll give vice versa whatever I have to give. I can go to Israel or I can stay in California, and they're two different paths. I just don't know, because as a Jew, I want to go to Israel, and I feel loyal to the Jewish people first. I'm sorry to any Christian that hears this video. It's not that I don't care. It's that I have some business to handle first before we can get the bigger party started. And the opposing idea, going to Israel, helping my Jewish and Israeli communities. Is staying in California and going to the Christian communities first. I need to start somewhere. I need to start somewhere. I don't know where to start. Alright, I'm going to post this video. God bless you. Baruch Hashem. Thank you for your time. I'll make another video soon, I hope.